Hey. 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 I see you. You know what day it is, right? You smell that? You taste that? It's March 1st. You know what that means, right? It's a new month. And whenever there is a new month, there's news. New news. Not old news, new news. No fake news. New news. And you know what type of news that I like to look forward to? Persona 5 news. I think you all know where we're going with this, right? We've been waiting since December, since the announcement that Atlus has dropped us about P5R. And guess what? That news is coming sometime this month. I don't know when that's going to be. You don't know when it's going to be, but someone knows when that's going to be. But it's up to us fans that have nothing better to do but sit around overanalyzing every single crumb and nugget that Atlus ever drops in front of our faces. So come on, it is a new month, it is March, let's get this news, let's get this hype, let's get P5R, P5S, anything we can do to just overanalyze every little bit and get hype. Let's get it! Psst. What is it?
It's not March 1st.
Wait, what?
It's not March 1st.
What do you mean it's not March 1st?
It's March 14th.
What?
It's March 14th.
Wait, March 14th? What do you mean it's March 14th? How are we already in the halfway through March? Where's the time go?
Hey!
Look, I'm sorry. I lost my composure. But hey, this is what happens when the possibility of P5 news is right around the corner. I just get totally shook. But hey, come on. I'm cool. Alright? Okay, so, in preparation for the upcoming announcement from Atlus, let's run down everything we know so far and recap on popular theories and possibilities. This hype train is not slowing down, fam. Let's get it! Alright, let's start off with the heavy hitter. If we're going to have any chance of getting new P5R news, this is going to be it, Chief. Sega is holding their annual Sega Fes for 2019 at the end of this month. And, wait a second. Fes? Persona 3 Fes. Persona 3 Fes has 3 movies. 3 anime adaptations. 3 Illuminati. Half-Life 3 confirmed! NANI? The event will take place from March 30th to March 31st in Tokyo. Sega has multiple events planned for the main stage, like the revival of an old tactical RPG slash dating sim slash visual novel slash all the slashes. Damn, that's a mouthful. It's the old tactical RPG, Sakura Wars. And from that description, it kind of sounds like a game any Persona fan can get behind. I mean, just from the sound of it, it sounds like Final Fantasy Tactics combat and Persona-style Social Links gameplay combined into one. Or maybe it's just Fire Emblem. Actually, yeah, it's just basically Fire Emblem with cherry blossoms. So, apparently, Sakura Wars was extremely popular over in Japan, spawning multiple games, a manga, an anime, and a movie. But the series never broke out over in the West due to the short lifespan of the Sega Saturn. So this could be the opportunity the series has needed to be successful overseas, especially with the popularity of anime being bigger than it has ever before. But hey, you have to stay focused. We all know the main reason why we're here, Persona 5. So Sega has given Atlus access to the main stage. With all the popularity that Atlus has gained over the past couple years, this makes perfect sense and a no-brainer. Take your star player and put them in the front as a starter. And come on, let's be real, Sega isn't doing anything relevant with Sonic, so yeah, let's move on. Atlus will be celebrating their 30th anniversary as a company this year, using this event to recap the history and overall growth that they have experienced, and to also reveal what lies in the future. They currently have planned to showcase the games from the Shin Megami Tensei series, Persona, Etrian Odyssey, and many more. So getting an official reveal of P5R and their other projects seems like a safe bet, and it's been long overdue since we've seen Shin Megami Tensei 5, so hopefully we can get a trailer for that. And don't worry fam, all the links and details to the event are down in the description, so peep those details when you get a chance. But the most exciting thing about the new information is of course speculation. I know all of us have so many hopes for the future can bring down the Atlus pipeline, but low-key, right off the cuff, one of the mysterious projects has to be the next Persona fighting game. Imagine the possibilities, the roster would be lit AF. Persona 4 Arena featured characters from P3 and P4, and now with P5 in the mix, the roster hands down will be legendary. Not only that, we can't forget about all the possible character interactions that can happen. Remember, these fighting game stories are actually canon to the Persona timeline, and that's dope in my book. And next, one of the other things to look out for, and definitely that's highly anticipated, is Persona 5R. I don't even know where to start with this one. The common theory, of course, is that P5R is going to be the Persona 4 Golden of Persona 5, which isn't a bad theory given Atlus' track record. Look at all the different versions of P3 that they have. There's like 3 different versions of the game and all the anime adaptations and all the movies. There's a butt ton of content for P3. But for all we know, P5R could just be Persona 5 Racing. Yeah, did you ever think of that? But of course, that's just worst case scenario. Let's run with the definitive edition theory. If Atlus decides to take this route, at first glance, it would look like there would not be much for them to add or change. Persona 5 as a game is a new golden standard of what it means to release a finished and complete game upon initial launch. And Atlus pulled this off without DLC as well, even if they did add costumes as DLC. But at the end of the day, this game is packed to the moon with content, so what could they add? Well, peep this. Atlus was low-key planning on adding another playable character to the Phantom Thieves lineup. Atlus had played around with the idea of having 2 analytical party members to join the team. The members in question were Best Girl Makoto Nijima and the shogi prodigy Hifumi Togo, and I bet you all can guess who won out in the end. Unfortunately, Atlus couldn't find a way to reasonably add Hifumi into the story without making the game longer than it already was. Persona 5 on a basic playthrough takes up upwards of 80 hours to complete at a minimum. Personally, it took me 120 hours to beat the game on my first playthrough, and what a magical 120 hours that was. I wouldn't trade that for the world. But this time around, they don't have to worry about that problem. This game being the deluxe version of P5, they can go balls to the wall crazy with adding content, without having to worry about the game's length. So the first thing that I want to see from P5R would be to have Hifumi officially join the Phantom Thieves. With Atlus already planning to add her to the story to begin with, they should have the basic framework of the story with her included. This way, it will keep the overall story experience fresh for returning veterans. But why stop there? They could also give Hifumi a unique skill on the battlefield like how some of the other Phantom Thieves have. Makoto identifies the enemy's strengths and weaknesses for you, Futaba assists in party buffs and positioning, while Yusuke copies persona skills to blank cards. So what if Hifumi keeps the same skills she teaches you as part of her confidant progression, but also, why don't we give her the ability to swap out party members just like Joker during her turn? So essentially, this would give the player 2 opportunities to swap out party members when Hifumi is on the field. I feel like this change isn't too game-breaking and a nice quality of life addition, while making Hifumi unique compared to the rest of the team. With us adding an extra party member to the main story, we're going to need some extra time over the year to level up our confidants. And the way that Atlus can make this work is by giving us our days back. What I mean is that we all know there are countless amount of days during the story where we can't do anything but go to bed. I'm looking at you, Morgana. These are usually days where the story advances in the plot. Instead of cutting the days short, let us go outside and work on our evening confidants. And we all know there are many other moments in the story like this. I think we all know what happens in the months of November and early December. Crap, I almost forgot. And if they make Hifumi a Persona user, they'll need to give her a palace to earn her powers in. How could they achieve this? Atlus could make Hifumi's mother a palace ruler. During Hifumi's storyline, her mother has been fixing her shogi matches. She's been doing this to give her daughter idol fame, believing that she could live vicariously through Hifumi to gain the fame that she never could. Who's to say that Hifumi's mother wasn't fixing her shogi matches through the metaverse? We all know that the upper echelon of Tokyo has been using the metaverse to climb up the social and political ladders. Hifumi's mother could be one of those people using the metaverse for her own selfish ambition and desires. Atlus could make the palace take the form of a classic Victorian-style mansion. This will reflect Hifumi's mother's desire to be part of the high society life of nobility. And while we're adding stuff, why not just add the female protagonist as well? I see you Ryuji and Yusuke shippers out there. Let's show you guys some love, right? Am I right? Alright. But that's all I got for you at the moment, fam. These next few weeks are going to be insane. You also can't forget that we also have the Smash Bros. News to look out for later in April. There has never been a better time to be a Persona fan, and I'll be covering all the news when it drops. So remember, the Sega Fes event is happening at the end of the month, March 30th and March 31st, so be on the lookout for the info to drop then. I will be covering all the Persona-related news in the future, along with my own Persona-related theory videos. So if that's what you're into, don't forget to drop me a sub and make friends with that bell. Alright? Alright. I'll catch you later, fam.
Slow down the smoke and tell me to quit, don't listen what I'm told. And only forget that this world is so cold. I don't even know what I'm searching no more. Tell me what I want, keep searching on. It's never enough, stop at the cup, run at the gun. I wouldn't give one if I could find a fun.